So welcome back. I'm Lance with Street Bishops. We're at streetbishops.com. And this video series is about starting a ministry. So I've done other videos on this, but they have not been as extensive as this video series is going to be. And so in this particular chapter or this video, what we're going to go over is the vehicle with which you are going to use to engage in ministry work, right? And this, you'll have many vehicles, but you'll have your first one that you get started with. So as I get started here, what I want to say is there is one word that needs to be the overarching theme through this particular subject here today, and that is relationship. There are lots of ways to tell people about the glory of God and salvation through Jesus Christ. You could walk up to them and hand them a tract. I think that's very ineffective. You can leave a tract on a table. I don't know, maybe that's effective, I don't know. You can speak to them and say, hey, do you know Christ? I think that's intrusive and that's kind of a little too in your face. I think that the best way, the longest lasting way, the most quality way to express the good news to somebody is through relationship, where you don't meet them just one time, you don't meet them maybe just twice, but you meet them over a period of time, several times or many times. And you have an opportunity to develop a relationship with them so that they can see how you live, how you shine. They get your Christ vibe, where they want to look at you and say, you know, you seem really happy, you and your wife seem you have it together. It doesn't seem like problems get you down. They'll look at you and look at the quality of your life and say, why are you so happy? And then you can say to them, well, it's because I've got Christ in my life. And when I have Christ in my life, then everything else is just brighter. Troubles don't seem as troubling. Blessings are greater. I just have a you know, you can see it in me. I'm happy all the time, right? That's when people want to know more about Jesus Christ, because they see you and they see your life and they're believing what they see, not what you tell them. And then through relationship, you can reinforce it, because through your relationship, then they can give you feedback about their life and you can assist them in interpreting where Christ can be supportive and how they can find answers by getting on their knees and through small prayers and through recognizing the blessings they do have that they don't recognize and all of those things. But that takes relationship to do that in a quality way that sticks. When someone just comes up to an altar call and says they accept Christ and go away, if you have no supportive relationship with them over days and weeks and months to come, I'm not sure you've done anything but maybe even just confuse them. They may not be as likely to go up the next time. But through relationship, that can be reinforced. So when you have your ministry, you know, having people know Jesus Christ is the backdrop. That's just the assumed thing. But you say, like in the last chapter, we talked about who is your audience, right? Is it unwed mothers, unwed fathers? Is it seniors? Is it struggling youth? Is it the homeless, those on the street who are hungry, a clothing ministry? Whatever the group is, identifying that avatar, that group that you want to serve, then you want to understand or at least develop a vehicle through which to serve them. So I'm going to give you an example of a simple vehicle and a complex vehicle, okay? A simple vehicle is get their name, email address, and phone number so you can text them. And then after you speak to them and find out what their needs are, you're not Jesus-ing all over their face, out talking, you're just showing that you're concerned and you love them, and you begin to communicate with them with texting and emails and phone number until they tell you to stop. You just keep communicating with them and you develop a relationship with them over time, and then you're in a position where you can show the power of having Christ in your life. That's a simple way. A more complex way may be, for example, if your target audience is, there's a group of homeless folks that looks like they're homeless, but they're on the street and they're in front of what we would call the J store here, and they look hungry. And so you say, you know what, they look hungry, and I'm going to start bringing them sandwiches. And through the relationship of feeding them, just as Christ fed, we have the fishes and the bread, it's quite an example. As I'm bringing them sandwiches in a bag, I can put a note in that bag that says, Jesus loves you. I love you. This is why I brought you the sandwich. Ask me more and I'll tell you more. That's simple. A handwritten little note in each bag that says, Jesus loves you. I love you. This is why I'm bringing these sandwiches to you, because it's a part of my service through Christ. Please ask me more and I'll tell you more. And then you put a phone number. Okay. Now, that's a more complex way to do it, because it's, you do that over time. You got to buy the sandwiches, you got to prepare the stuff, and you develop a relationship in feeding them. But you can see how much more powerful that vehicle is than just leaving a tract somewhere, or just all random off one saying, oh, do you know Jesus? Do you know Jesus? I mean, that's sort of like, that's like a shotgun approach, like you don't know what else to do. But when we do it programmatically, where we actually have a program and we have a target audience, and we do this thoughtfully, then the Spirit can lead us into a really great relationship with these individuals who may have nobody else to have that kind of relationship with. And there's power in that. And so that's what this chapter is about here. It's about, what's the vehicle you're going to use to develop relationship. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do it. There are so many services out there that you can provide to somebody. The Salvation Army does it through their giving them a bed at night, right? And other organizations give them a bed at night. That is just such a godly service to give to somebody. Some do it through feeding others on the street. Others do it by mentoring troubled youth, or I shouldn't say troubled. They're just challenged. They're having a difficult time, right? They're not in their soul troubled. They're just kind of need some guidance and some mentoring. You may be working with some seniors as they get towards end of life and helping them feel like they've got a friend, someone that can read. They can't read anymore, and you're just reading to them. Your ministry vehicle may be reading to seniors, because so many of them can't read anymore, and they miss that. And for you just to sit there with a book and read for them and read to them is a blessing. And you can develop such a relationship. By the time you're done with that first book, you will have a relationship, and they're going to be asking you about your soul and your spirit, and about wanting to know how. And when they say to you, you're so wonderful, thank you so much, that's when you can say, well, I do this because the Lord leads me to serve. And serving you through reading you this book is a blessing to my heart, and it seems like it's a blessing to yours. And so I'm being Christ-like, and that is my command. My Lord asks me, be Christ-like. And so I do that by coming to read for you. And so you can take almost any service you can imagine, because the Lord will put the service on your heart. The Lord will. If you get off this thing of just saying, I want to preach, get away from that. That's the Pharisees crap. Do what Christ did. Have a life of service. And the Lord will put on your heart who you're going to serve, which was in the last chapter, and how you're going to serve. And that's what this chapter is about. Now, if you say, I don't know how to do anything for somebody, then find the thing that you do know how to do, because I guarantee you there is at least one, if not many things that you do very well. And almost all of those things you do well in some way can be turned into a service to a particular group of people, right? So the chapter before this was, who's your target audience? It could be that you engage in this chapter first and look at your capabilities in your vehicle, and then the chapter before this of who is my people, that may come after. Because you'll say, well, this is what I do well, and who can I do it the best for? And then you'll be served, and then it will identify, it will point you to the population to whom you want to serve. So I may have these chapters flipped, right? This should have come before the chapter on who you're going to serve, because once you figure out your vehicle, then you'll more clearly know who you're serving based on that vehicle. But that's what you want to do. And as I said from the very beginning, this is about relationships. That's the vehicle for developing long-term ministry that is impactful, that is sustainable, that will bring people to know Christ, and that will bring others to help you in your ministry. So that's it for this particular chapter. It's probably the most important one of the entire book, because people miss this one. They want to just go out and preach, but they don't have a vehicle through which to develop relationship. So I invite you to go to streetbishops.com and sign up for our email list, and go to Street Bishops on YouTube, and you'll see other videos there. And I just really encourage you to focus on relationship and develop your ministry from there. So it's great being with you for a few minutes here, and always be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. So I want to thank you for coming by and watching this video today. Please be sure to click on the subscribe button below if you're watching this on YouTube. And I want you to also mark the bell so you get notifications. If you're watching this video somewhere else, head on over to YouTube, to Street Bishops, that channel, and go ahead and subscribe while you're there so that you can get additional videos. And you can come by our Facebook page at Street Bishops. And so we just want to connect with you and hear from you often. You can also write to me at secretary@streetbishops.com. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.